Welcome back everyone for a new gym workout. And well, that's something very interesting that I wanted to share today. Because lately I kind of struggle to find the inspiration to kind of talk. But that's also, I think, a consequence of training. Because there is time where you're very focused and invested, and when you train with intention. And that being said, there is other time where you start losing focus a little and just go with the flow. And I think lately that has been more about that. It's just that I struggle to focus too much. I'm just going with the flow. I have to go to the gym. I'm going to the gym. It's, I think, a part of being a little bit fatigued, but I'm going to come back on that just after. What I want to say is just that on the fact that I'm struggling to kind of find the inspiration to know what to talk about in each of those videos, it's just that since I'm less present when I'm doing my workout, I have less things to talk about because I remember less things. Where when you are invested mentally and physically in what you do, you have a lot of things going on in your mind. You think a lot about what you're doing, what you could have done better, and so on. And so, of course, I will have a lot to talk about. And I think currently, and that's also because I think this is since we are getting close, or we are at summer, I don't remember, and so it's getting very hot, and I think that affect my recovery, and because of that I'm a little bit more tired, and so when I come to the gym I'm just less present. But that's mainly what I just realized and I wanted to share, because see, that's okay. That's okay to be a little bit less present every now and then. But if you want to make real progress, you need to be at what you do. You need to be focused. And at this session, that was let's be honest, that was a little bit better. Just the fact that I've been able to step back and become aware of what happened over the last few sessions is it just means that I'm getting back on track and becoming more and more aware and present into what I do. But yeah, I just thought about the last week where I was really not present and really struggled to just figure out what to say, and I think that's what happened. Anyway, so this week, one of the things that I've been focusing on in the squat, because until now I was kind of, as I drop into the deep squat position, I was kind of trying to arch my back to keep my to avoid bunkering and to really keep my back tight. But what I found, and something explains that online very simply, is if you arch your back by using your hips, what happens is you have less range of motion, and so when you're getting deep into the squats, you're kind of forced to do the buntwing, and so that's something I wanted to avoid, and so I think I was doing it because I was trying to avoid it. So mainly what that means is you kind of need to keep your hip level parallel to the ground and not trying to rotate them forward to arch your back, because if you rotate them forward to arch your back, you have less room for the hips to move. And so when you are getting back into the deep squat position, you are going to have the butt wing. So, okay, that aside, we have some stuff here. So, 200 went somewhat well. I mean, I feel really weird. I don't know that's the heat or what, but that my legs are really shaking. I'm just shaking. I'm not. It's both like I'm feeling somewhat strong, but not really that much. So I decided last week we failed the 210 kg. So I decided, you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to go as deep as I think I can get back up, not as deep as I can. So I went there. Okay, that's a little bit better than what I thought. But yeah, it was just the mindset. I knew, given how I felt, that probably I won't be able to get back up if I went full deep squat. So I just wanted, okay, you know what? I want exposure to that 210, so next week it's going to get easier. What I did is just go as low as you think you can get back up, and then get back up. And that's what I did, so I'm pretty happy about it. Then, so that 210 kg is my top set. So, because the way you want to build strength when you get advanced, and I start getting a little bit advanced, I'm not that much, but a little bit. So you do your top set, which was 210, and then you go down 20 kg, for instance, like I did here. I'm 180, and just try to do multiple reps after that big set. But yeah, so 210 kg kind of really drive a lot of energy out of me. So I was already a little bit dead. And also I wanted to keep some gas for the bench, because last week I failed 120 and that's really annoying me. But now I think about it, and that's what I explained at the beginning of the session here, the fact that I'm becoming more and more present. Now, see, I've stopped creating for the last, I think that's been like 3 weeks that I'm off creating. And so at the beginning that felt good, because see, it's really felt like the creatine promote so much the recovery that the fact that my body was recovering all the time was actually causing long-term fatigue. And so that's why I stopped. And so the first week where I stopped, it was great because I still had a lot of creatine in my body, but not the issue of having to process all that creatine and recover faster. So I kind of got a little bit of bump of energy. But I think last week, and that's why I started getting a drop of energy and being less present in training, I started getting less and less creatine into my system, and I haven't really fully recovered. So, and I think that's what happened. So that was really difficult because my body was starting to recover that long-term fatigue while I was getting less and less creatine to my system. So that's why that last week was probably tough. So I think now my creatine is completely off my system and I start getting back to something normal. But here's the deal, creatine helped me getting stronger. So here, what I realized is actually getting back to my old personal best without the creatine is already an overload in itself. Because if you can eat the same weight without the creatine that you were with the creatine, it means you got stronger. So I need to keep that in mind, not getting too bad with myself, because yeah, that's annoying to not be able to eat your best lift. But also I need to understand that there was all of this going on. So I went on to 115 because last time I kind of made an issue, tried to jump from 110 to 120 and that didn't work. And so I tried to go for 115. And I failed miserably. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, failing 120 was one thing, but failing the 115. So yeah, I lay down here. I tried something fun, just because I know it was not because I wasn't strong enough. It's just that I let the weight drop a little too fast, and then I struggled. So that's more a technique issue rather than actual strength issue. So I figured maybe if I just relax a little bit, recover, then I can get back up. But no, I didn't. But I went out and do it again because I felt that I can actually do it. 120, maybe not, because. So yeah, I've been able to do it. That's what I thought. So failing one and being able to do it just after just means that I have it in me. So then I went on to 120. But honestly, I knew it wasn't gonna go well, because I think the 210 kg on the squat really drove a lot of energy out of me, and so yeah, I just can't. And actually, that's something that I wanted to share, because I think I'm going to start doing partials, but in the deep range of motion. Just try to get the bar of the, for instance, here you see I have the safeties. And what I'm thinking is maybe I'm going to add a lift at each session that I wasn't doing. For instance, in this session that was a deadlift that I could have done. And just try to do partial in the area where this is the most difficult and try to get as heavy as I possibly can until I cannot get it off the safeties. As long as I can get it off, it doesn't matter if I'm able to push all the way up. As long as I'm getting off the safeties, this is a good rep. And I see that's something I need to experiment with. So as I told you with the squat, what I did is, so I did my top set, which I failed of the 120, but I still managed 150. Then you take 20 kg off, so that's 100, and I try to do as many reps as I can. So mainly I was going for 3x3, but as you saw on this one, I actually went for 4 reps because I felt I could do it. And yeah, that's how you, especially, I mean, for the squat, I felt that, okay, maybe just one set of 2 was enough. I wasn't wanting to get myself too tired. But because also I know that the squat is responding very well to stimulus, where bench is different, doesn't respond very well. So I needed to really hit hard. So that's why I went on to do a lot of sets, so 3 sets of 3 and 1 that I did actually 4. But yeah, anyway, so thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!